Yo, 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 welcome to another episode of Slide Through Podcast. Another beautiful Tuesday out here in the farmer's market. It's chill, it's popping. Things are back open. Minimal mask wearing people. I'm one of them. And
One of them.
and don't be fooled, this episode is not sponsored by Truly.
It's not.
But shout out to Truly.
Shout out to Truly. I ain't gonna lie, that's the only thing I've been drinking. Like, if I'm kicking back, that's what I got. And Crown a little bit, but not as much as before.
Was there a reason for that?
They taste good.
Okay.
They're better than White Claws?
Fuck yeah.
I'll agree.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like,
What do you guys think?
100%.
What do you guys think when you see White Claws now? Like, you know, I'll be like,
I mean,
oh,
I was never really a fan. He brought them around, and I thought they were decent.
Don't point. It's rude.
Oh, my bad. But I'm really pointing at me. When I point one finger, I point three at me. So. But I tried them when you brought them. When I brought them. They tasted like okay. And then I tried June. See, now I'm scared of point. June introduced me to the Trulies one night, and just never dropped them then, man.
never been the same again.
Never been the same again.
Nothing was the same.
Nothing was the same. Life wasn't the same. The air didn't feel the same.
Just take care, bro.
Fuck with it.
Yeah, but anyways, let's get to our real sponsors. Shout out to Definitely Eating Clothing. Make sure you visit www.definitellyeating.com. You can get the hoodies, t-shirts, the shorts for the ladies, tank tops for the ladies. I think there's all kinds of stuff. He got really nice candles. Collaborated with Johnny Wicks.
Wicks.
Yeah, who also has a little stand out here in the farmers market every Tuesday right here in Monterey. So make sure you come out like to Monterey on a Tuesday afternoon if you guys can. You guys will see all amazing like local stuff, like all kinds of unique things. And
I did meet Johnny Wicks
yeah.
today. Yeah. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, real cool. He has really nice candles, like unique candles, like they look sick. And shout out to Monterey Bay Creations. Ricky, you want to touch on
Monterey
that?
Bay Creations, tap in for your custom apparel, whatever you guys need. We can get it done for you. Hats, hoodies, crew necks, shirts, pants, shorts, you name it, decals. You dream it, we create it.
Yes, sir. Also, shout out to the Fish House located in Watsonville. It's a restaurant for seafood. So if you're ever around that area, make sure you stop by, get your grub on. It's a perfect time, like especially for right now for the summer, especially going out there like in Santa Cruz, going to the boardwalk, or hopefully soon there'll be some concerts or shows at the Catalyst. I can't wait for the Catalyst to come back.
See, I forgot that place even existed, bro.
I can't wait for the Catalyst to come back. I can't wait for all that
Underground hip hop shit.
The underground hip hop. Somebody has a box cutter next to you and shit. You can't trust nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Razor under the tongue.
Mosh pits. You ever participated?
I didn't, but I've heard about Santa Cruz getting crazy with the mosh pit.
Oh yeah. On certain rap shows, I think I went to a Mortal Technique one, and yeah, there's a mosh pit. There's another one. I want to say they tried to do one at a Burner concert, but I don't think it was flying because everyone was just too high. I was one of those people that was too high.
So you never participated in the mosh pit?
Nah, man.
See, me as a guy with glasses, you should never go into a mosh pit.
No, bro.
No, I never did.
No,
No.
yeah.
I was thinking.
You gotta know your place. Like,
So, being said with that, can you get mad if they hit you?
If you're going in there, no.
Okay.
But it's like, yeah, if you're not trying to be a part of it and someone bumps into, then yeah, you have every right to go ahead and kick them right in the face if you want to.
Yeah, you got. You know what I mean,
can't get in trouble.
Get rowdy.
He's a
You know what I'm
kick him
saying?
in the face.
It's a concert, bro. You gotta get
Because
rowdy.
I seen a video where this dude, he joins it. In reality, he's just like swinging at people's faces, like really hitting them, and he's supposedly dancing, but he's like punching all these people.
Yeah, well, kick that guy out.
Kick that guy out.
Those gotta be that one guy,
Bro,
Yes,
one
sir.
guy.
and don't be that one guy.
Don't be that guy.
Know your place. But anyways, man, we got a very, very special guest with us today. You want to introduce yourself? Let the people know who you are.
Hi guys, my name is Lisa and I am from a grassroots organization based off of community members. It's called Simply of Service. So if you guys aren't already following us, follow us on Instagram and keep up to date with a lot of community events and actions going on, not just here in Monterey County, but we take it all over California. So please see us there and stay up to tune.
Okay, question off the bat. Like, when you say grassroots organization, I've never heard that before. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean exactly, and what does the organization do?
Grassroots, pretty much it just means that we don't rely like on any like corporate funding. It's just pretty much just like people taking over. We rely on the community to come together and to bring awareness to like a lot of injustice that's in society today.
Okay.
And so Simply a Service, we aim at a lot of different things. So we tackle like mutual aid. We like to do community events where we provide basic needs, to the homeless or to, what is it? I can't think of the word. You guys are making me nervous. Stop looking at me.
No, it's fine.
Looking at
Just
me.
put it out there. Put it out there. Just
Like,
put it out
to
there.
the people that can't access it, like like the lower class.
Okay.
And so we do a lot of different things, from like protesting to providing security services to beach cleanups to city cleanups. Right now we have a really important project going on. We are collecting donations for asylum seekers. So if you guys haven't heard what's been going on with like previous Trump policies that are still in place, that we're currently trying to get them reversed, but asylum seekers are not allowed to come over to the U.S. while they wait for their asylum case to be heard. So right now they're currently, in a sense, mandated to stay on the other side of the wall, and the camps are like really overcrowded. The conditions are very bad. So we've been collecting donations for about 2 weeks now, and Simply a Service is going to be taking them down to the camps personally and donating all the stuff that we've been collecting.
So when you say donations, it's not just money. You take like clothes, shoes,
Everything.
toys,
Everything.
tents. Is there anything you guys need specifically, like, or would prefer?
We have a flyer, and so the first flyer released, we are accepting anything and everything, from clothing, toys, shoes, books, and then we collaborate with a team down in San Diego, and they work directly with the asylum seekers, and they did have a request for certain items. And to name a couple of them, I know it was just like deodorant, baby formula, diapers, and like toddler clothing. There's more on the list, but I don't remember. So those were some of the things that they specifically requested. But the camps are so big and there's just so many people waiting, they just need everything and anything they can get.
If people want to donate, where do they go ahead and look up that information?
They can contact the Instagram Simply of Service, which I'm one of the people that helps run it. So I will reply to you guys and I'll let you know. Right now, there's a person in San Jose. She's part of Simply of Service as well. She's been collecting over there in the Bay Area. And then I, along with another member, have been collecting here in Salinas. So if you guys see my garage, it's like so packed with like amazing donations. Like I'm, fascinated with all you people that have donated. So thank you.
Okay,
That's
okay.
dope. That's awesome.
Simply of Service. Is this something that's only like in California, nationwide, or how?
Right now it is based in California in
Okay.
Monterey County, but the founder of Simply of Service, he wants to make it like a national thing. So we're just trying to network and get connected with other people. But when I say like grassroots and community based, it's literally just like community members donating their time and trying to connect. So when you have a lot of events going on and not enough numbers, it does make it a little bit difficult. But soon that'll happen. We are in the process of becoming a nonprofit, which means we will get like a tax ID, and then we'll be able to network with other grassroots organizations. So it's pretty exciting.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah,
It
it
is
sounds like
exciting.
you're doing a great, amazing
Yeah.
thing. That, one thing I was going to mention, you were talking about like the camps, and that was really in the news like months before, but now it's just something that you don't really see that's getting a lot of public news. You know what I mean? Like if it's not on your radar, most people don't really know what's going on.
And that's really annoying because, people thought because Biden became president, like things were going to change, right? So we all had like this expectation, like, oh, we voted for Biden, immigration policies are going to change. Like, to be honest with you, it's just a new president, same shit. And nothing's going to change unless the people make it change. And I've always said, we need to abolish the system because the system it was never made for us. It was never made for the people. So that's why you have policies. That's why you have all these, you have the education system. All of these were designed to keep the lower class out of it. And so there's more to it, and that's like a whole different topic of its own. But it's still out there. And it's crazier than ever. The camps are crowded, the detention centers. I think people kind of shined away from it because they're no longer called detention centers. They're called migrant facility centers. It's the same
Same
thing.
shit, yeah.
It's the
Just
same
the
thing.
name.
Different label.
Different, same thing, different label. And it's just, it went from this under Trump to this name under Biden. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So unless you really are committed into like researching and getting to know it, it's gonna fall off your radar, like you said. It's not gonna be there.
Just
So.
the media not covering it no more,
Yeah.
right? Pretty much.
Yeah, because they thought like, oh, Biden, he's doing this and he's doing that. I'm not sure if you guys heard, but they were saying that Biden was gonna reunite the children that were separated under the Trump policies.
That was said at the beginning. Yeah,
it was
but
out there, and
Has
as
been.
of today, Biden has only reunited, I believe, less than 10 children with their family.
Just 10?
10. So that's
Out of all
false
the
promises.
families.
False promises,
Well,
right?
is it because that's all he can do, or?
Bro, 10 families, bro. Come on,
Yeah.
bro.
Think
Come on.
about it.
But I don't
If-
know.
With
but
all
what
the
if that's all he
money
can
and the
do?
power that
I don't think so, though.
has, he could do more than just reunite 10 families.
Think about all this shit Trump did, and he just vetoed so much shit. Biden could do the same shit.
Well, like, who
Yeah.
has more power now? Like, I don't know, because now
It's still the president.
Because shit's kind of confusing now. It's like, all right, he's out of here. Now we got this new guy in. So what does that mean? Like, all these old rules are still in play, but he
There's
can make
ways
these
to
new
get rid of
rules?
those laws, but he
Yeah.
could do it at once if he really wanted to. But he wants to be, I guess, wait for the House and the representatives. But in reality, Trump was just ruthless. He didn't wait for no one. He just said, this is what I want done. So he just signed the executive order. Biden can do the same, but he chooses not to because it's not going to make him popular, I guess.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So
It could be
That's why-
strategy. I don't
it's
know.
a process, like when
Yeah.
it comes to like vetoing stuff or like putting something into place. But at the end of the day, Biden has the final say. And so it's like, you've been president for how many months now, and we still have this shit going. Like, when is it going to stop? So it takes us to create that awareness. Otherwise, it won't be there.
The worst part is that, like, you made these promises in order for these people to go ahead and vote for you and elect you into the position that you are, but you're not following through on the promises either. The same thing that Kamala was saying, but you
Hey,
know, she's
I did barely get my stimulus today.
oh,
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. It came with a letter from Biden. I was like, oh, word.
Said word.
And so if people weren't aware of the stimulus, so if you, under the Trump when Trump first released the stimulus, if you were a mixed family, meaning your spouse was an immigrant, you and your family did not qualify for that stimulus.
Oh, really?
No. You
so
did
if you were
not.
born, if you're a citizen and your spouse was not,
Your
what? That's
entire
crazy.
family was.
Yeah, I think it happened to a homie.
So, yeah, and yeah, and,
Yeah,
and
did
I
I?
can say I am married to an immigrant, and he's currently on the other side. He was deported about 1.5 years ago, so my family was excluded from the stimulus for a long time. So it sucked, and I hated people because I seen all these, like friends, coworkers, like, oh yeah, I got my stimmy, let's go get this and get that, and here I am, like, damn, like, another racist attack on the Latino community. So it sucked, but
Kind of seems like the stimulus was like a distraction.
Could have been.
on top of a bunch of other
Yeah.
distractions that they always send
yeah.
out, bro.
But it's-
Hey, shit's fucked up right now. Here's some money.
Some money. But it's like anything. They release money for the public, but they release money for a whole bunch of other shit too. It wasn't
Yeah,
just
we,
for
we
the
get
country.
the scraps. you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like bills have like gas things that aren't even related to the bill, but they want to add it because someone's funding a certain governor. Have you seen the bills? They're like 500 pages long. Like,
Yeah.
and they get like
Nobody's reading
a
that.
couple days to read all that stuff before they got to vote.
I'd be forgetting what I read. But wait, what was that last paragraph?
What was page 250 say?
I gotta have a summarization of all of them.
It's insane.
All right, yo, can we start at the beginning? What's your background and what led you onto the path that you're on right now?
my background. So, just a little bit about me. I was, like I said, born and raised here. I've been impacted by immigration policies my entire life. My dad was deported when I was 8, and my mom struggled a lot to take care of us. So there was 5 of us. And on top of that, my mom had a disability, so she could no longer work. So we relied on public assistance, also known as welfare and food stamps. And we lived in what most people call today the ghetto. So I lived on the east side of Salinas, and I was surrounded by, gangs and violence, and I found myself wanting to belong in that crowd because that's what I seen and what I was around. And I found myself pregnant when I was 14 with my daughter, and having to become a mom at such a young age, struggling, it opened my eyes a lot. You know, I was not gonna put my child through what I went through. So, I mean, I grew up really fast. And then, you know, I wanted to pursue my education, be a better parent. I didn't want to become another statistic. You know, a lot of people, including my family, really just talked like a lot of negativity about me. They're like, you know, you're just going to be another teen mom, a welfare. You're going to, you know, you're going to be like your mom. And I used all of that hate and that negativity to become what they said I couldn't become. And so now, 15 years later, I have my kids. You know, I just graduated from CSUMB.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
congrats.
I've been doing things, you know, by myself, independently. And my struggles have led me to where I'm at today. So I got into activism. I do a lot of protesting, not only just because my dad was deported, but also because my children had that same hurt that I had when I was 8, when their dad got deported. You know, just seeing them and not understanding, like, what does it mean to not be a citizen? Why can't my dad come back? That same hurt and trauma is what I had, you know, and it's not fair. It's not fair, because at the end of the day, this is, you know, we're all on stolen land.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
I don't know why we even have this label of being a citizen. You know, nobody's illegal on stolen land, and it just sucks. It sucks. So it takes people to have to really want to get involved to be involved, and that's where my activism came in. You know, advocate for not only just my kids, because I have the privilege of being here and telling you guys my story, right? And
Yeah.
for everyone
course.
listening,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people out there that unfortunately cannot tell their story. A lot of people that try to come over in search of a better life and, you know, unfortunately lost
Yeah.
their soul in the desert. You know, there's so many forgotten people out there, so we have to be their voice, and I have to be their voice. So I will do what I can with the privilege that I have. So
Yeah.
that's what led me to my activism.
That's awesome. That's like
That's
great.
dope.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Especially that you do it for yourself. No one's forcing you to do it. You know, you're not expecting nothing out of it other than maybe policies to change.
Yes.
So,
And we need that. And what I went through, you know, like those struggles, growing up, being in that area, I didn't know much about like resources and stuff like that. And so one of the goals that I have for not just Salinas, but everywhere and, you know, all over California, all over, is to make these resources more accessible so that it gets the youth distracted and not in trouble. I don't want anyone to struggle. It's not a good feeling. So we need to keep them off the streets and busy with sports and getting into school and making education a priority. So those are one of my goals.
How can people go ahead and find those resources? Because, like you said, growing up where you grow up, people kind of just fall into what their environment is. You know, the routine and what their environment, what they see, and they don't even go ahead and think they're like, all right, well, I didn't even know this was available. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many people that didn't even know, like, oh, after school programs were available and stuff like that. So how can people go ahead and find out now that like internet and everything is more accessible to us,
Yeah.
like it's in our phone, in our hand.
It's more advanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to like when we were younger. So
So, you know, I think it's putting it out there, right? So the resources are there, but nobody ever really puts it out there because then you're digging into like government funding. And of course, we all know how the government works and they really don't want to fund, you know, the communities. So it's just getting putting the resources out there, sharing it on social media, making the flyers available, you know, word of mouth, and just the relationship that the community has with like authority figures and making that just having it out there. It's just pretty much the biggest thing. Because like I said, it was there, but it wasn't really like promoted. And so that's what it needs to be like put out there, you
Yeah.
know? So with technology that helps.
Yeah, with the power of social media, huh?
Yes.
you got to force it in people's faces
Yeah.
nowadays, man.
Yes. and having it float out there, and like I said, word of mouth, from me to you to everyone. That's how it's going to get out there. You know, making the now that, you know, we have the Monterey County is like 90% Hispanic population, making
50%?
Is it really 90%?
yeah. So I actually did a survey. So on my Instagram, and I can share with you guys later, I did a survey on it was for my CCMB project, and it was to talk about the mental health impacts from the immigration policies on undocumented immigrants. And it was found that 90% of Monterey County is Hispanics, and of that 90%, 80% do not seek mental health resources because they're undocumented. And
But
that
the
was,
resources are available.
the resources are available.
They just don't
They've never
search
been
it
told.
because
They
of that.
don't, but they can't access it because undocumented immigrants do not qualify because of their
Yeah.
status.
Oh.
They do not
Yeah.
qualify. And there are programs, there are some fund like hospital programs that do offer the funding for these undocumented, but they don't know about it, right? So now, by creating that survey, I hope that it'll go back to like the undocumented community and let them know, like, hey, there are programs available for you. Either you ask, or, you know, the hospital should promote them more. But it's there. But it was just really sad to get that data from Monterey County.
Yeah, unfortunately,
my
one,
heart.
yeah, one
Yeah.
thing about like Hispanic families is they really put mental health on the back burner. They
Yeah.
They really do.
They don't.
they don't
like-
even consider it, and it's kind of sad. Even like, let's say you go ahead and you come from an immigrant family, but you were born here, right? You go ahead and try to express that to them, and it's almost like, what is that? No, like just
What
work
the-
through it.
yeah,
Like
what the hell
what's
is
going on? Yeah.
mental? What the heck is mental health?
What
We
you
just
mean?
work.
I felt like that plenty of
Yeah.
times. Like, well, you just get up and you just take
Yeah.
another day. But
Yeah, we just come from workhorses, you know. They
Because
just
mental health
yeah.
isn't part of the like the traditions of
Yeah.
Mexico,
No.
of Mexican
or
family.
Hispanic,
It's not,
yeah, or people of color. in
yeah,
general,
it's not part of it. So that for mental health, that this project was also to raise awareness. Like, we need to break that barrier, because mental health it's real and it's out there, and it's crazy because a lot of people are suffering. They don't know that they're suffering because, you know, they were taught like, oh, this is I have nothing wrong with me. Mental
Yeah.
health isn't a thing, but it really is. It's real.
Yeah, definitely need more resources like that.
Yes.
And like, yeah, I mean, be easy to find. Because back then you didn't know, like, you didn't even know if there was a chess club open that you could have joined back when you were a
Right.
kid. Or, I mean, I went to the Boys and Girls Club back when I was a kid, and shit, that shit was already kind of rough already as it is. It was just all the dangerous kids trying to stay out of danger,
From
but all the
all-
dangerous,
From
all the
all-
dangerous
yeah.
kids just packed into inside a
that's
building.
So true.
And it's true.
Like this is the type of shit I'm trying to stay away from.
Yeah.
I'm over here getting jumped,
Yeah.
playing flag football,
I'm getting jumped.
Yeah.
getting jumped in flag football. Yo, fam, this is flag. Yeah, but
Oh,
good
man.
times though. Can't complain.
Good times though.
Yeah, but yeah, we need more like good resources, like, you know, or just make it more aware.
Yeah, we
Let
need
'em-
more programs
yeah.
for the youth, for the community, for, you know, underrepresented community members, and just making things more accessible for them so they can get out of this crab pot that they're in. So I don't know if you guys ever heard that term before, crab pot. No?
Crab pots?
Crab pot.
I heard of crab bucket.
Crabs in a bucket.
No,
yeah.
we're not talking about the restaurant.
Oh.
No. No. So crab pot is all these crabs are in a pot, and they all act the same way because they're all surrounded by each other. And the moment that somebody tries to come out of this pot, they're constantly being pulled down by
Yeah.
all of them. So when you see that with the community, if you have one person trying to get out of there, everyone's attacking them because that's not part of their norm. Like, hey, why are you leaving? That's not normal. Like, you know, you should be
Yeah.
here with us. So we need to really get rid of that crab pot here, you know, especially in Salinas, because when that one person comes, like, you see that one person like, oh, why are you going here over here, or come and hang with us, it's like then they start getting attacked. And so we need to break that barrier, and by doing that, you create more programs, you create more resources, and you make it more accessible. And when I say accessible, you remove the limitations. So for undocumented immigrants, they cannot get it, so remove that, make change the income guidelines. And so things like that, those are ways to like change the structure of society.
Did you feel that crab in the pot pressure when you were trying to like speak your voice?
Back then, it was really it wasn't as difficult, but it was difficult, trying to like not be the stigma of a teen mom.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as hard as I see it now,
Mm-hmm.
because back then there really wasn't too many teen pregnancies as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to what you see now.
Mm-hmm.
And so back then it wasn't hard. Now I want to say it really is hard because social media has advanced. Back then we
Yeah.
had like Nokia phones that were like
Right.
it's
Right.
so
Well,
big,
the
so it
razors.
wasn't able to like spread, rumors and all that stuff. So it was hard, but it's harder now, and we have to fix that.
Mhm.
We have to fix that.
We have to fix it.
Yeah. I feel like now that we have in social media and like how we've seen people react to it before, when you get like to certain like debates and arguments, I feel like now people can handle it better now that it's been out there for like quite some time, and you know what to respond to, when not to respond to, what's worth your time and what's
Yes.
not. So,
Yeah.
so that's good. That's good that you.
So
you know,
the power of social media is to like create awareness, and that's exactly what Simply of Service aims
Yeah.
at doing.
yeah, because at first, like anybody firing at you, you just fire back like no, 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 no,
Yes.
and then it's like nah, people are gonna talk regardless. Like, so you just gotta let whatever they snicker about and go about your day.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Simply of Service. I don't know if you could switch the screen to this banner you got up on the screen,
Oh,
June, just for the people that want to go ahead and, like we were talking about earlier, donations. Anything you can go ahead and give, man. Everything's appreciated.
Yes, please. And donations will be accepted up until about July, I think 7th. Because we would like to have them organized, ready to go in boxes. We are going to be renting a U-Haul, taking them down to San Diego, and then from San Diego, our team is going to be filling up their personal cars, and we will be driving into the asylum camps. So,
Have you personally been?
to
To
the
the-
asylum?
yeah.
No, I haven't.
So it would be your first
My
time?
first time down there. I've been to
Ooh.
Mexico, but I haven't been to an asylum camp. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I'm such a big crybaby, and I cry over everything and anything. So, if you
There's
guys,
nothing wrong with that though.
it's just heartbreaking, And
Yeah, I'd probably cry too, though, so don't feel
Yeah,
bad.
I'd
Like,
I just came from Mexico. I took my kids down there for Father's Day, and coming back, like, I was just crying on the way home, and I was like, I don't even know why I'm crying. Like, I just seen this border, like the wall, and it was just so like, oh my god, I just want to burn it down. Like,
Yeah.
oh, why is it still standing? So it's heartbreaking. But yeah,
But at least you'd be going there with good intentions, and
Yeah.
you're gonna feel better when you
yes.
leave.
Just
Yeah.
doing it, to help the people that can't help themselves, and again, they can't because of the situation they're in. So, yeah. So any donations that you guys have, we would appreciate them.
Definitely. At Simply for Service.
Simply of Service.
Oh, Simply
Simply
of Service.
of
right. That's
Service.
right. That's right.
So be sure to follow, tap in, and support, man.
Yeah, support that.
so as far as earlier you mentioned you out of all the stuff that you do, protest is one of them as well.
Yes.
Or like there was a protest down
Yeah.
here, and I think Ricky was mentioning, but were you involved in that? Because I think we were gonna here to record, or we were here to do some other stuff. But
We were
you
recording.
guys, we definitely heard the noise, and we peeked out the window. I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" And we saw the flags, and we saw the cop behind you guys. But were you in that, and what was that exactly?
So we actually organized that protest, Simply of
Okay.
Service. And so we were out there, and that was just to raise awareness of the immigration policies. So that was really focused on Title 42. So Title 42 was implemented by Trump to keep the asylum seekers in Mexico. They were banned from coming over to the U.S. So previously, when Obama was in office with Title 42, they were able to seek asylum, and they could remain here in the U.S. With Trump, he said, you could seek asylum, but you're going to stay in Mexico. And a lot of people went missing. A lot of people didn't come back. A lot of people just, I don't know.
Unfortunately,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm all. So that was something, a lot more people are trying to seek asylum because of the conditions, in those areas. And like I said, the camps are really overcrowded. So with that protest, we were just aiming to raise awareness to hold Biden accountable for not, what is the word?
Doing what he promised.
Doing what he promised, but to end Title 42, to get rid of
Okay.
it. Yeah. So that was because he, like we said, he has the power to do it. Why hasn't he done it? So that was the purpose of the protest, was to end Title 42.
Okay.
Do you think there's like a long process when it comes to that, or do you?
No.
No, it's just simple signature.
They just don't want to do it.
They just don't want to do it. And recently in the news too, Biden was saying, or Biden's office was saying that they are going to be adding more to the border. So they're going to be funding the border, which goes against his promises.
Wow.
So I'm like, wow, like another failed promise.
Yeah.
Full of lies, man.
It's like I said, same. It's a new president,
it's
same
been the
shit.
same thing, yeah.
So it's not going to change unless we change it. And that's why we hold protests to get our voices heard, you know, disrupt the traffic and make sure that they hear us. You know, it's like, where are they going to go? They have to hear us.
Yeah.
So we were out there.
Unfortunately, we are part of that domino effect where it just seems to just keep going one way. You know, I mean, people look at Obama as like a sweetheart of a president, but he did also send the most people back.
Yeah.
So
He did. And so this started way before Trump, way before Obama. Like, if you do your homework, you know, immigration policies were in place long before that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, really, why are these in place when, again, this is stolen land? You know, it does not belong to America. So really, why do we have this label of being a citizen and all this stuff? So it goes far back, and people think like, oh, you know, you're just a Trump hater or whatever. Like, no, it has nothing to do with Trump. Like, Obama deported the most immigrants. You know, he's the one that built the cages and stuff. Trump filled them, and now Biden's continuing with them. So it's like, when are we going to put an end to this? Like, when, you know, when are we going to be land of the free like we say we are?
I
When?
think
That's real.
it takes the movement like you're
Right?
part of to go ahead and push that forward, because if not, then we'll stay in the same position, you know?
Exactly. So we're not land of the free. We're not home of the brave. If we're, you know, putting these families and children into cages where, you know, they're getting assaulted left and right, we know that's not brave. That's just cowardless. It's you're being a coward, and it's just, it's annoying, and it's frustrating. But yeah, it's just so frustrating.
Yeah,
We
we're
feel
just
your
we're just
energy.
crazy creatures, man. We're just some crazy ass creatures on this planet that doesn't belong to us.
So we protest, and, you know, Simply a Service, we've traveled up and down California. We've gone to Sacramento. We've gone to San Diego. We're actually collaborating with some teams in Texas to head
That's
out there to the detention center. So that's in the works right now. So stay tuned on Simply a Service. We'll
Okay.
have a flyer released.
Well, stay
Okay.
tuned.
If people want to join or be part of this, how can they go ahead and be part of this? How did you hear about this, and how did you go ahead and join?
Join the group or
Yes.
join like the movement?
Both.
So the group,
The movement isn't Simply of Service, right? The group is Simply of Service,
Correct.
right? And the movement would be
like the protesting, being active.
The purpose of it.
Yeah, because it's just more. It's more than just protesting. It's raising awareness. You know, educating people, having dialogues with them, and stuff like that. So that's the movement. You know, it's more than just protesting. Like, yeah, you can stand out there and have your megaphone, but besides that, what are you doing to educate the community? So the group, Simply a Service, I don't even know how I came with them. I think I did a protest last year sometime, and the founder came up to me and he was like, I want you part of the group and so forth. And I was like, hey, I'm totally down. Like, you know, I've been looking for you guys for a long time. And from there, you know, it spinned off, and we just started doing movements and protesting. And it's open to anybody. It's not to say like, oh, you can't join, or no, somebody can't. Like, no, we would love to have everybody and anybody. And so if you guys are interested, just send us a message, and, you know, like, we'll love to have you around. We love to hear your ideas. And again, it's not just protesting. There's different things, mutual aid, cleanups. We had this program called Hiking for the Homies, where we wanted to take youth out of situations and take them, you know, hiking so they can get like
just a feel for something different, you know?
Yeah, away from it all. So we have, you know, all that in place. So, I mean, it's open to anybody. So we'd love to have you guys around.
Yeah, that's some dope
Just send us a
ideas.
message.
We'll
We don't bite. We don't bite. Send us a message.
We don't bite. No biting.
Unless you try to leave, we go,
We don't bite. No.
That's great. That's like a great thing that you're doing. And
So we try. We really try. I mean, it's not easy. Being an activist is definitely one of the hardest things, because you deal with so much criticism and negativity out there. You know, when Biden came into office, a lot of people were like, oh, just, talking shit and sending nasty messages. And it got crazy to where we were even getting death threats. And I'm like, really? Like, what's,
Right.
what's the point of this? Like,
Yeah,
you think
like
just because Biden's in office, we're going to stop protesting? We're going to protest even harder, and which we've been doing. So it's hard, but it's very fulfilling because you know that it's making people's blood boil. And that's what we got to do.
yeah.
Got to get them to, like,
That just means it's working.
yeah, it's, because they know that we're not going to stay quiet anymore. We've been quiet for too long, and now it's time that we rise up and stand up.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing. So be
Preach.
part of it, guys. Come out and
Preach.
join us. We want you there.
Preach. More power to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
More power. Yeah.
It's not easy, but
Yeah.
but we appreciate everyone. We do.
That's awesome.
Oh my god, I had another question. I just forgot it. You guys got something?
I got a question. I saw that you were out there in Seaside when they had the Black Lives Matter movement. Like, do you feel you're getting the same love from the people from that community towards like the immigration strikes? Because I know a lot of Latinos joined that strikes and stood up with them. Are they giving the love back from based on your organization?
Yes. So I've seen members from all communities. We've had, the African Americans out there. We've had Asians out there. We've had some, I want to say, like, I think their ethnicity is like Palestinian, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we've had everyone out there. And we get the same, I want to say, the same attention that we give them. And that's, like, to me, that's dope because it's
That's
like, it's not a race war. We're not to say like, oh, your protest is going to have more people. Like, no, we need to stop fighting with each other and come together, because at the end of the day, we need to, like, end the discrimination that we face. It's the same thing. So, yeah, I've seen the same amount of numbers with us when we go out there with them. And I appreciate that.
And the thing is, like, we're basically just asking like a same chance, like just the same like chances that other people are given out here. So I think that's all we really want, and it's just like they're putting
To be equal.
Yeah. We just want to be included. We just want to give them the fair
Treated as
chance. you know?
human. Pretty
Yeah,
much,
just
yeah.
being human.
At the
you know
end
what I
of the
mean?
day, we're
Yeah.
humans. We
Yeah.
bleed the same, we cry the same, we feel the same.
Mhm.
Internally, we're the same. Externally, we're different. But we're
Yeah.
humans.
Yeah,
So,
We're humans.
yeah.
yeah.
We're just here to survive and provide. You know what
Survive and provide.
I mean? Yeah.
Any crazy stories? I know you said you've done multiple protests, not just here, but you go in different other parts of California. Any crazy stories or different maybe difficulties you've run into? You know what I mean, doing protests like that, and with whether it be with police or other people unhappy with you doing what you're doing.
I think the craziest situation we've been in was San Diego. We went out there for an immigration rights protest, and the police out there were very, very brutal with the protesters. And they were just not having us. They were very rude and very nasty to us. They were trying to, like, get us to get off the street. And it came to the point where we were peacefully protesting in the street, and then they ended up arresting one of the group members. And so, we're walking back to him and trying to find out, like, why is he getting arrested? Like, what's going on? So the police did this, like, barricade, right? So, like, they built this, like, wall with their bikes, and they didn't let protesters get to him. So we weren't sure what's going on. And the cop starts getting in one of the protesters' face, hits him with his bike, and she's like, get out of my face before I hit you. And he's like, well, you already hit me. What are you talking about? And she was being so, like, violent with him, and she ended up hitting him where he had to go to the hospital. And of course, I wasn't about to let that happen. I'm going to express my voice out there because I'm like, no, we have a right to protest. And I started telling the cop, like, I need a reason as to why you're arresting him. And she started getting in my face, started telling me stuff. And she was like, if you don't back the fuck up, we're going to arrest you. And I'm like, arrest me on what? Like, I was like, arrest me then, bitch, arrest me. And she just didn't. She just kept telling me to go back. And I was like, I'm staying right here. And it wasn't until one of the security that we had out there was like, no, we got to go. Like, keep moving. is how I got pulled away. But that was one of the craziest things. So I was like, dude, I'm about to get arrested right now, and I've never been arrested. So I was so scared. But it would have.
But you stayed strong though.
But I was about.
Stood your ground,
no.
yeah.
I was like, just
Yeah.
because they got that uniform doesn't mean, you know.
They
like,
got families too, you know.
Yeah, and I was like, you know, I've always said if I get arrested, I want to get arrested for the right reasons, and if it takes me getting arrested to create a policy change and getting those, you know, families out of cages, then I'll stay in jail. Send me letters.
Yeah.
Send me letters.
Send me drawings.
Right, Lisa?
Send me
Lisa.
letters. But that was one of the craziest, scariest situations. Other than that, you know, protests here in Monterey County have been very peaceful. Like, we've had the police, not that we've asked them, but they've come out and escorted us, and things were okay for the most part. But San Diego's pretty racist down there, so we'll be heading back soon.
I've heard.
Well, we'll be
You
heading
heard?
back soon. Yeah, we'll be heading back soon. So,
I mean, but those are the areas you want to go
Yeah,
to
those are the areas.
because that's where you're gonna create
we
the
got to
change.
tackle,
Yeah,
right? We got to
Yeah.
create change out there. Okay,
gotta face the
why are
adversity.
you guys? What perspective do you have? How, you know? Because again, these things are taught to them, so we gotta unteach that to them, you know. And it's by creating dialogue and showing them that we're not this monster, we're not this criminal like they've labeled us for all these years. So
You gotta break that cycle, because the older people might look at y'all like, no man, we're stuck in their ways.
Yes.
Fuck them. But the younger kids probably, yo, what are they doing? What is going on? What is
exactly,
this? And
yeah.
you know, maybe a majority of those kids might go home and just continue to listen what their parents listen, or go ahead and feed them in their ear. But other kids might want to go ahead and do their research and really
Yes.
figure out what's going on. So small change is better than no change, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I do that with my kids now. You know, when they ask me like, "Why do you protest?" and you know, "Why are you going to a Palestinian protest?" or "Why are you going to this or that?" and I, you know, talk to them about it so that way they can get that information and talk to their friends about it, and then it goes to their friends, and it gets, you know, by word of mouth, and they create that dialogue within their families, because you know their parents at the end of the day teach them what they know. So it's like you got to challenge how your parents think, because they're taught on old ways, and by, you know, we got to break that norm that they're
School,
living
yeah.
in. Otherwise it's going to forever be a thing. It's always, racism is always going to exist. So
Right. Racism, the mental health issues,
everything,
the overworking,
everything, this
everything.
injustice that still
Yeah.
lives here. So, you know, that's one of my main goals, and I do that with the page, not just simply a service, but my personal page as well. Like, turned it into an awareness page, and I talk about a lot of different things. So,
You want to give the name for your page?
oh, for my page, that one. Well, that one.
Just put it on screen, dude.
Let's see, underscore LEESSUUHHH underscore.
That's Lisa.
I
If you
know.
say it out loud, Mike can hate it.
It's one of those where they put the extra letters in there.
Mike's like, Mom, why does your name say this weird thing? And I'm like, guys, it's my name, just like, you know, Lisa. But I talk about a lot of different things. So if you scroll down, you'll see, like, I talk about, you know,
Or like those Jessica accounts with mad S's.
you know, we did a beach cleanup. I talk about like sexual assault and what women go through, and how society perceives women when they dress a certain way and talk a certain way.
What is that? Is that what they call like rape culture
Yeah.
or something like that?
So, you know, there was me at one of the protests, and I just talked about, again, more sexual assaults. We did an Easter event for the community. We gave out free baskets. So,
So
I'm
do you
everywhere.
get a lot of backlash? Like, I know you have a picture there where you write all these words on your, like right there, like hoe, crazy, slut. Like, do you get a lot of backlash for doing those?
I don't no, actually no. I get more I get applauded more for it because that's not talked about, right? So when we talk about that, like when you post like a certain picture or something, people are like, "Oh my god, she's dressed like a slut, or she's this or that, or she was asking to be raped, or she was asking to be assaulted." So people are like, I mean, the people that have approached me are like, "Oh my god, I'm glad that you did that. We need to break that
idea in the mind,
that
or the perception,
of how women are treated when they're dressed a certain way."
Mhm.
And so I say that because I, even myself as a female, I get I get really ugly, nasty comments from men, and it's just so disgusting and degrading as, to a female. And I'm like, just because we wear certain, clothing or we have a hair a certain way doesn't mean that we are asking for you to talk to us like that. Like, do you talk to your parents like that with that mouth? Yeah. So I don't get a lot of backlash. I think I get more crazy
respect or no?
More support.
I get more support. Yeah. I mean, support, respect, yes. Haven't got anything crazy, but there's still those naive people that are like, oh my God, why are you posting this? Like, blah, blah, blah type thing. And I'm just like, because I got to change people like you.
Yeah.
Like, that's why. That's why I'm posting this, So
don't be mad at me because I'm doing something.
Yeah. And so
choosing to hate,
that comes from, like, growing up. My mom always taught me to dress a certain way. Like, oh, you can't leave the house wearing this. You can't wear that. And it wasn't until recently, that I was like, dude, I'm doing the same thing to my kids. Like, I'm telling my daughter, you can't wear this, you can't wear that. Girls gotta be, a certain way. Yeah. And I'm like, why can't my daughter wear Jordans and why can't she wear, a hoodie, whatever? It wasn't until that I was like, I gotta break this own cycle. I'm living the cycle. I'm repeating, what I was taught, and it's not really about. My perspective, we've been doing it wrong this whole time. It's not about educating women how to dress. It's educating men how to respect, know, and not rape. Mm-hmm. And so that comes with how men view women when they dress a certain way. So that's in there.
That's what it is.
I think it goes both ways, though. I could never understand how someone can go ahead and be like, how a man can go ahead and be like, oh, but you were dressed like this. You were asking to be raped. Like, you asked for it. Like, I don't understand how someone can go ahead and say that.
Just think that
or
way.
Even think that way. But also, like, for example, when my sister was younger, my mom would see her dressed in a hoodie or see her dressed in Jordans or, like, a flannel that's maybe a little bit bigger. And she's like, why are you dressed like that? Like, are you a lesbian? Like, what's going on? And then, like, she would look at me and was like, you think your sister's a lesbian? I was like, no, I think she looks fresh as fuck. I think it looks good. Like, why are you thinking like that? She's like, I don't know. That's just not the way we dress. Like, yeah, well, what do you expect? You expect her to dress in your old-fashioned clothes? Like, no. Like, the style changes and things evolve. And
this ain't the 70s no more,
yeah.
Ma. Sorry.
Exactly, right? And so that's what we got to fix, because dressing a certain way wasn't accepted. And it goes back to the way that older people think. They're living in this like norm of like, oh, women have to dress like this, men dress like this, the males are the dominant, the females are not, you
man
have this,
works, woman stays home
type thing. And so now it's got to be all inclusive, where men can do what women do and women can do what men do. Mm-hmm. So we got to break that old ways and make it more
fluid, just more
equal for men and women. So
okay, since we hit this topic of the rape culture, can we play that video? Okay. I want to get your opinion on that video.
What video are we talking about?
I guess before the audio starts, this lady goes in the rant, talk about she went out, and brief of it, guys wouldn't approach them. Like, no guy was approaching a woman, and she's trying to see what's the men hate, her words.
What's the issue?
Men hating issue that women have now. And she explains, like, shy girls maybe want a guy to approach them, but because there's all this hatred thing because of the rape culture, no one does it anymore. So she's trying to get an answer, and I mean, you'll hear it. That's just brief.
Oh my gosh, okay. My friends went out and nobody was like trying to get at us. Nobody showed interest, nobody anything. And a guy duetted it or stitched it, and he actually said, well, look what you women have done. Like, this is what you wanted, correct? So I want to piggyback off of that. Ladies, y'all, not all of y'all, but you guys wanted this whole, oh, leave us alone, you guys are perverts, you guys are weirdos, like, we hate men thing. You guys are on this fucking bandwagon to, like, you hate men. What is the fucking goal of this? What is the point of this? Because, you know what you guys are doing? You're ruining it for the women who do want to be approached. You're ruining it for the women who are shy and do want that guy to come up to them. Does that make sense? And you're also ruining it for the guys who are great guys, have great intentions. Maybe they're just nervous when they come up to you, so they're shy and like anxious, and you take that as them being a pervert or weirdo. Where does this lead up to? Like, I honestly want to know what the whole point of this is, because at this point, it's going to come to a nobody wants to come up to you, no, and she's like, oh my gosh, you my friend.
There's a second video. Do you guys want to finish listening to it?
Well, we want to get the tech.
Nobody's going to talk to you. Nobody's going to try with you, and everybody's going to be thinking, damn, he's not interested in me. So, ladies, you guys wanted men to back down from it. So are you guys gonna step up to the plate? Are you guys gonna start asking guys out? No. Are you guys gonna start going up to dudes and saying, hey, let me take you out to dinner? How about you come over to my place at 8 o'clock and I'll have dinner made for you? What's your favorite food to eat? I'll make it for you. I highly doubt that's gonna happen. But my whole point of this is I'm not understanding the whole I hate.
That's it.
That's it. The whole I hate men thing.
Oh, I hate men thing. So what's your opinion doing that you advocate rape culture? Is that, like she says, is that the whole intention you guys are looking to not be approached that way? Or is it not being approached with certain words in this?
Women want to be approached with respect. That's all we ask for. So there's ways that men approach and they come off very like aggressive, very degrading, like, oh, but just the way that they just approach women. And so when she says, like, shy girls want to be approached, I think those shy girls want to be approached because they're shy, right? Like maybe they don't have the confidence, or maybe they just don't, they don't know how to talk to a guy or something. But at the end of the day, we want respect, and we want to be, I guess, like, approach with respect. Like, don't come to us with, like, your, I don't know, just certain ways, like, oh, can I take you home? Or like, oh, you're looking mighty fine, or, stuff like that. Like, talk to us like, human beings. Like, oh, how are you doing? Can I buy you a drink? There's ways that you could talk to women and get their attention without having to be so aggressive. I think that's what she's talking about, in my perspective.
Side note before you go, women's perspective. Like you say, if a guy approaches you like that, you guys signify him like as weak, lame, a square to say, as to someone more confident approaches you a different way. Do you think how does that play in your book, I guess, or from your experience? You rather have a guy approach you like that, like very shy, very timid, or would you go with a guy that's maybe a little more straightforward, assertive, but
assertiveness?
I think men could be assertive, but be assertive with, like, respect, right? Like, be like, oh, hey, like, trying to continue the conversation. So it's not like, oh, hey, how's your night going? And the girl's just, like, not interested. And don't be like, I don't know, like, oh, can I take you home? Something like that. Just be assertive, but, like, trying to continue the conversation. Like, oh, can I buy you a drink? I don't know. Maybe because I haven't been in that situation, but I don't know. Just respect is all we ask for.
Okay, gentlemen.
Yeah.
You guys being single, is it more difficult nowadays to approach a woman? Or what do you guys think? Do you feel like you have to walk on eggshells when you talk to somebody? Or do you feel like you could just approach them and be okay, or they'll be okay with it?
Me personally, I'm a shy person, so it's not like I'm gonna go ahead and just tackle it off bat. But when I do, it's never the intention to go ahead and, like, oh, I like her, I think she's cute, I'm gonna see if she's gonna try to come home with me. My intention is just go ahead and, like, I'm gonna try to make a new friend. And if you never approach a dude, well, I mean, I'm a straight male, so you never approach a dude like, oh, like, yo, come kick it with me at the crib or some shit. No, like, I mean, if it just happens like a regular conversation,
like a natural thing.
You just build a natural conversation. It's a friendly conversation, you know what I mean? But a lot of guys, I feel like they left the house with the intention of, like,
yeah,
man, I'm gonna come home with something, bro. Like, I'm gonna come home with this and that.
And if I don't come home with something, then I'm a loser in my head.
Yeah, like, I think maybe I've reached a point where, like, you know what, like, all right, fine. Like, what if I do take you home? And it's just gonna be sex. Like, I've been having sex. Like, what's the big difference? You know what I mean? I kind of value friendships more now than I would just a strictly sexual relationship. You know what I mean? So, as far as me keeping it honest, like, I think I enjoy myself with the female friends that I have non-sexually, the time that I've had with them and getting to know them for who they are, compared to, like, all right, well, I've only see you once a week, and this is what we do, and then we just cut ties. So for me, I just kind of approach someone with respect, but also try to be a friend before you go ahead and try to take them home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More than likely, if they'll try to take you home before you do.
Before
so
you-
the-
You're like,
Before you even made up your
whoa.
mind.
if that's the thing that you're looking for, then look for the girl that's gonna want to take you home.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miggy?
Me personally, I've just been on like a new like mode of like not trying to force shit. Like I don't want to feel forced to do anything now. You know, I don't want to feel forced to talk to someone that I don't want to talk to. You know, I want it all to be genuine. And you know, if I end up meeting somebody that's just genuine and like the conversation just flows naturally, I'm not trying to force like to bring things in or listening to like or like trying to dig something up, you know, just trying to get something out of them or something like, or them trying to get something out of me, vice versa. So I just want it all to be genuine. Like I'm trying to be more going with the flow.
But do you
know?
feel like this movement affects the like your
Of the
confidence
men
to approach a
approaching?
woman?
As far as approaching, not like I just like to be natural with it. I just like to like just be regular, you know, kind of like just getting to know the person. Not trying to like say a little corny pickup line or you know. I mean, I am corny,
cheesy?
yeah, or cheesy. I am corny like once you get to know me and like and I joke around and stuff. But I feel like that's just that's just the process of like getting to know someone. You know, I kind of open up little by little. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't flood the gates. I like to open up little by little. If I, you know what I mean? If I allow it and if I'm liking the person.
I'm not gonna lie. I respect the women that make the move first. A
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Because me speaking personally in my
Yeah.
experience, like, I probably have more girls make it obvious to me. Because if you don't make it obvious, it's going right over my head. I have
dumb.
no
I'm
idea.
It
what
like
you're
super
brings
doing.
dumb.
down your confidence, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I think what you're trying to say is like you want the girl to make the move so you know that there's like interest there, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy trying to force it, you know what I mean? But also,
Yeah.
like, if they don't let it be known, then it's just going to go right over my head. Like, oh, no, she's been looking at you. It's like, so what? Maybe she's looking behind me or something like that. But, like,
Oh,
Oh,
Like
no,
your
I got
ears.
something in my teeth or something.
yeah, you
like-
know what I mean? Like, fuck, like, I don't know. Like, maybe I remind her of her boyfriend or some shit. Like, I don't fucking know, bro, but it's some shit.
You
Like,
never know. You never know.
He doesn't know. Right?
So it is helpful when when
The
we're
woman.
showing interest and they show interest back, and it's
Right.
kind of helpful. Okay, we're going somewhere, like, or because sometimes it's difficult for guys to get the hint. Like I think we're on like
that's what I was trying to say.
the
I don't
hint,
get the
man.
hint.
I don't know
You don't get the hint?
At all.
the hint.
So
The hint
just
is
tell me you like
debatable
me.
because it's like
Old school, touch my finger.
because it would be
Touch
helpful.
my hand.
It will. I mean, I guess as guys, we should know once we get the hint, but at the same time, it's like, fuck it. You know what I mean, pull the band-aid off. Just say it. You're like, yo, not interested in you, homie. Like, keep it stepping. Like, keep it stepping. Like, all right, for sure. All
And
good.
it's those guys that can't take the no that make it
Yeah.
harder for
Yeah.
everybody else because
Yeah.
then girls pull away from that,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm,
And I
okay.
say that because there was, or now that I remember an incident, but 201 in Salinas, that little nightclub.
Hey, shout out to 201.
Before like the whole pandemic
to
happened.
201.
Hey, shout out 301.
Before the pandemic
401.
happened and it was a thing, you know, I went there with my friends and you know I didn't go with intentions of going home with anybody. I went to be with my friends, you know, like just have a girls thing. And there was this one, I don't even want to call him a gentleman, there was this one guy there and he was really trying to like dance with me and I was like no thank you, and I kept saying it over like no thank you, I'm not interested, to where it got to the point where he was like grabbing me now and I'm like, bro, can you like step back please? Like I clearly said no. And it's people like that pull girls away from like even wanting to be approached, period. So those guys that can't take no make it harder for
Yeah.
the girls, for other guys that you know do want to
Yeah.
approach and the girls that want to be approached.
Yeah. I think
So-
it's just those type of people that make it difficult for everybody
Yeah.
because now you get this like paranoia of like oh man, this guy's gonna attack me if I say no, and then guys have this paranoia of like, oh, she's gonna flip the fuck out if I say hi or say something.
Exactly, you know.
She's gonna put me on IG. Look at this bum ass motherfucker.
Look at this
But-
bum
and it-
motherfucker.
Talk to me.
It goes both
Yo,
ways,
what are
right?
those? What are those?
Because girls can be aggressive
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah.
Some girls can take no for an answer, and then guys are like, "Oh my god, like bro, she's too aggressive for me," like you know, like or she's a psycho or something. So it goes both ways, but like people really just need to respect no, and those people that can't make it harder for everybody else
Right.
out there, which I think leads to this video.
Yeah. And the crazy part is just simple rules. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Simple
I mean, the
rules.
golden rule: treat people how you want to be treated.
Hey, there's
Yeah,
like
you know.
so much fish in the
6 feet
sea.
apart.
Come on. There's
6
so
feet
much fish in the
apart.
sea. You know, like if you couldn't dance with that girl, all right. You know, there's more out there. You know, so
Just swim up to the next one respectfully, though.
Respectfully, listen to Marvin's Room as many
Yes.
times as you need to listen to it,
Yep.
and then move on to the next one.
And no means no, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't have a potty mouth when you talk to us either, all right? You know, like treat us with respect. Have, you know, going off of what you said about like wanting to like have a friend first. Like I think when you make the conversation fun and you talk about just like regular things as opposed to like, oh, hey, so when are we going to kick it, or, you know, do you want to come over, you know, type things. I found that I like when a guy has a normal like basic conversation as opposed to like being like aggressive and trying to like assert things.
Right.
With no expectation at the end of it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
So what's the next move? What we doing next? What we're gonna do next?
Yeah.
It's like we're not getting time to know each other.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that goes to that video.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
we're reaching up the end of time. Any last questions you guys got? Or
Ask questions.
I just want you to promote it again. Let people know.
Promote what you represent, what you
Yeah,
do.
where people can follow it, all that. Where
Oh,
people can link up to it.
Like, okay, so we're part of Simply of Service, a grassroots community-based organization, and our you guys are making me nervous. Stop. The time is running out.
Don't look at it.
Don't look at me.
No, it's all cool.
Look at our
You know,
cameraman. He'll keep you calm.
Where we just, you know, our goal is to create awareness and try to and advocate for people that can't advocate for themselves. So again, just follow us on Instagram, send us a message if you guys want to come on board. We'd love to have you. You know, you get to be a part of cool things and really be in depth with it. Connect with us. We don't bite. I might make you wear pink, but other than that, you'll love it. I promise. So.
pink is fly. What you mean?
Right?
Pink is fly.
Pink is the coolest ever. So if you take a look at our Instagram, majority of the stuff is pink. I did that.
Hey.
I did see that.
Hey.
You have a taser that's pink. You have
I
all
do.
This,
I have
all
a
this whole
taser,
little
pepper
stuff-
spray,
that's what
some
it
you know, some cool.
Got a pink Glock?
I don't have a pink one.
She's
What's
like, not
next?
yet.
is. Is it in the works? Is it in the works?
Well, do I have to answer that? I'm just kidding. But yeah, so just connect with us. You know, we love to have you guys. Anybody and everybody's welcome, and you know, we want to see you out there with the movement. You know, it just, you don't have to protest, but just talk about it, create dialogue. You know, raise awareness, and just, you know, be about it. So
Be about it.
yeah.
Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Shout out Lisa.
Hung up, Lee.
Wait, sorry, guys.
At least you didn't put no threes and dollar signs in there.
She
I
coulda.
think I did have it. I think I
Some
did.
point.
I think I had like Lisa 831, and then when I changed it to like an activist page, I was like, okay, you know what?
8314.
Can't.
I was like, I need to
314.
change it. So I do apologize for the spelling, but it had to be different.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, man. Any last thoughts you
Plugins?
guys have?
That's it. Just no means no, guys.
No means no. Let's go ahead and make the donations. We just dropped
yeah.
Slide Through TV. You know, shout out to Ricky and
Shout out to
June,
Ricky and
Shoebox.
June.
and Shoebox who
Shout
was
out
out
to
there. Go
831
ahead
Lifestyle.
831 Lifestyle, yes.
and doing something different and really recording the memories for what people don't really know what's going on to
Yeah.
be
So-
more available to the eyes.
So just be sure to check it out. It's all local vendors. Local businesses promoting their stuff. They're gonna have one, I think, in a couple weeks again. But it's really just putting other names out there. You know, like it's really community based. They all work together. They all help out each other. So it's a dope thing. If you guys want to check out the video, they got some cool stuff you guys can check out. Catering, live painting. They have a break room, art,
Clothing,
a lot of
art,
arts, clothing.
Watching the video, bro, I was like, dude, I want to go. Like, I
Shit.
want to
And
go.
it's fun. It's fun, man. But yeah, be sure to check out the video and find out what's going on in our community.
Yeah, on the Slide Through IG page or Slide Through podcast on YouTube. So go ahead and check that out.
Yeah. Don't
Slide
forget,
Through
Crew Next
TV.
still available. ConglomerateByTheSea.com. That's where you can catch the merch. Peep out all the latest episodes as well. It'll be posted there on as well. So yeah.
On that
So
note,
yeah. Thank you once
Thank
again,
thank you, Lisa.
Thank you
you.
guys
Simply of
for
Service.
having me. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys allowing me the time to not only, you know, get to know me, but also to talk about the movement, the group, and, you know, creating that awareness so, you know, people could be educated about it. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you. I believe we all learned a lot. So
We
yeah,
did.
definitely.
Come on, I served my purpose here today. Then.